Hello and welcome to Back to the Boardroom. I'm James,
And I'm Greer.
And I'm Karishma.
the winner of this year's Apprentice. Thank you so much for coming on to talk to us. And obviously, congratulations on the win and also getting engaged.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It's been a big week for me.
A very big week. So, an icebreaker kind of question to start off with. How pleased were you in the interviews when you correctly identified your product in Mike's test? Because we know he likes to be quite tricky with those.
No, I just didn't know in that moment how that would go down for me. I know if I picked the wrong product, it would probably have been game over. It would have made an incredible edit as well. She picks out the wrong oil out of a lineup after talking endlessly about this miracle cure to acne that is different to everything else on the market, and then she can't identify her own oil. But to be very honest, when you research into something for so long, you've tested all these samples, you've advocated for it for so long, and you know it back to front, inside out. I think had I just smelt it and even had my eyes closed, I would have been able to identify my oil. That's how confident I am in what I've made. So but was it expected? No. And in that moment, you can even see in my face, Mike keeps like pulling out more and more bottles, and my face is just there like, stop, please stop, not one more. And he just keeps going, and there's like 5 or 6 bottles on the table at the end of it. And I'm just thinking, this could go so terribly wrong. And there is a world where none of them would have been mine, and it was a trick question. So I was really worried about that too.
Yeah, you must
That's a good point.
in that situation, your mind must have been going, is it a trick? Is it this? But you
Mhm.
smashed it.
Yeah.
So we all found out that you won last week, less than a week ago. But how long have you actually known that you've won The Apprentice, and how hard has it been trying to keep that news under wraps?
So I have known for about 2 weeks. I haven't known for that much longer than you guys. The only reason I was told a little bit earlier is I think because we have to we have to film the unfinished business side of it, the sister show. Obviously for that we need to know the outcome. And also just I needed to make sure Lord Sugar wanted to make sure that we have like all our ducks in a row. So I think it was for me, kind of 90% sure, going with like the fact that the day after the show finished filming, I got a message from Lord Sugar, probably like first thing in the morning, saying, "Hey, I've trademarked a skin love story for you." And at that point, I kind of thought, okay, why would he do that for me unless it was like he loved it so much, he's interested, he wants in, for me. So at that point, I was like, okay, maybe like 70% sure I've got this down. As the months went on, my business started doing better and better. Without the show and without the support of the show, Kishkin started growing. Our sales are growing. I'm sending him updates like, hey, we've just had a massive weekend. Just wanted to let you know. So you just, So keeping him in the loop because I can. I've got a business. It's successful. It's running with or without the show. And he's investing in someone that's already profitable, already knows what they're doing. So it decreases the risk immediately for him. So for me, I need to make sure if you're keeping an eye on me, you're seeing all these good things, and I'll send him like our campaign images and be like, "Hey, look, Chica, we did this really fun shoot," and I'll send it to him, and like, he will reply, and he's messaging me. I remember he called me at 1 in the morning to ask me a business related question one time, and I'm just thinking, how are you even awake? Like, but Lord Sugar's always working. He's always switched on, and if he's interested in you, he's genuinely interested. But yeah, to be like 100% honest, 2 weeks ago was when he called us into his office. He told me, I need to tell you now. They've told me, to tell you closer to the time and through a formal phone call and everything. But I need to tell you now because I've got my best interests. Like, my best interests are for you and your business, and you need to make sure you're prepared for what's coming. Like, had Pasha won or anyone else with a service based product won, it would be slightly different. I don't think he would have told them earlier, but he told me, you need to order 20,000 bottles of everything. Bring it in, fly it in, whatever you need to do. I'm telling you because you will sell out and we'll have nothing to sell. Nothing to sell means no profit. So that's why he told me. And ultimately, he's a businessman. So the show is, in its own respect, a massive part of it. But then the businessman behind it all, the businesswoman behind it all, we need to have our own interests protected at all costs.
Definitely. So that's a really unique way to find out. What was your reaction like then when he told you? Because obviously there weren't cameras around, so you could really be your
Yeah.
authentic self.
I played it so very cool. I was sat there. He was like, I have to tell you. And he pointed to my sister who was in the room as well. And this better not go anywhere, sis. That's what he said to my little sister. And she was like 19 and she was like, I got you, Lord Sugar. I got you. Like we were just sat there in front of him, like, what is he about to say? It could be anything. And then he said, you've got it. You've got it. And we were like, okay, cool. He never actually said the words like, you're my next business partner or whatever. It was just, you've got it. And I, in that moment, just felt like, cool, play it calm. You don't need to panic. It's fine. So I played it very calm, and then we left. And then I did like 94 TikToks in the reception of his offices. I was having the best time ever. The drive home, we're playing the most like mad music, and we're just screaming. We're so up. We're so up. This is something like me and my sisters do when we get good news. We just start screaming. We're so up, and that's what we did. And then we got food on the drive home. We had the best drive ever, and we just decided to keep it a secret. Like my dad didn't know, my mum didn't know. Like we didn't tell anyone until the day. The live screening is when everyone else found out, which is why our reactions were so raw. Like I don't know if you guys have seen the videos. I burst out into tears, not because I didn't know, but because I just watched my dad find out. I've just watched my mum find out, my big sister find out, like all these people that have raised me find out in that moment. So it's hugely emotional for me. But also like it doesn't sink in when it's a one-to-one with Lord Sugar. It sinks in when the whole world finds out. And now it's public information. You're on the front pages. Every single headline has your name on it. It's insane.
Absolutely. And kind of building on what you just said there, I think you said in interviews that your parents are the proudest people on earth right now. You know, how can you describe how that moment felt like to you and your family, really?
I think for my family, they have been looking for this turning point for all of us because we have not had it the easiest. I would say like about 3 years ago, we had to start from scratch. There was circumstances that we honestly just do not need to get into because it's in the past and I've overcome it, and it is something that rebuilt me, but also something that was so needed for character development at that time. Like I needed to see what the bottom of the barrel, rock bottom, looks like to appreciate what this moment feels like. Everyone keeps messaging me, Krishma, you're flying, you're flying, you're flying. And like I'm just like, I hope I can protect this success with everything because it's new to me. I am not old money, none of that. It's never fallen in my lap. Luck's never really been like on my side as much as I would like to say now. I've really worked hard for it. I deserve it. It's not just she's lucky or whatever. No, no, no. Like I have so grafted for this from a very young age, and I don't always like to think of it as, I always say the universe is not on a budget. Ask freely, ask wildly, ask insanely big things of the universe. And I said, just turn my shit around, like turn my life around. For the love of God, I cannot do this anymore. Like it needs to change, something needs to change. And I took this massive risk, threw myself in there, told my parents, look, I'm leaving for a few months, I might not be back, but we need this. We can't keep going on this way, moving after, like one place to another, rent, landlords chasing us up, hey, pay your rent. Like it's not going to happen anymore. We need our own property, we need our own cars outside, we need to have foundation. And if that's going to require me going off here, giving it my all, that's what I'll do. And the world is so supportive of the outcome of the show. Everyone thinks I deserved it. They saw it coming from like episode 2 or 3. They're saying, people are like, wait, you've been our favorite. We had your name down as the winner.
That is something that we noticed as well. Quite early on, our listeners were messaging in and saying, Karishma has got it. We're calling it now. She is the one that's definitely going to win. Was there a moment in the competition where you began to feel that you might win? Was there a success in one of the tasks that you thought, oh, actually, this could be mine?
I think probably week 1, 2, and 3, 0 chances. I was like, I haven't even worked with everyone yet. So I hadn't worked with the boys yet. A majority of them, I didn't know what I was up against. And also, for 3 weeks, I was very reserved in my shell. Didn't really have any friends on there. Like, like super close friends. Everyone's kind of competing still, like this weird kind of energy of we can be friends, but you know, in the boardroom I can and will throw you under the bus if need be. So there was like this kind of like unsaid rule where we're friends, but just kind of because we're living under the same roof right now. Week 1, 2, and 3 really had no clue how far I'd get, and then week 4, the praise I got from Baroness Brady put it into perspective for me that she wouldn't actually say this unless I was very good. And in all the years that she's done it, she's apparently never said it. Like, she's never been so vocal about how good a candidate has been or how well someone's impressed her. It's never happened. So I just know for a fact that had like her saying that and advocating for me and the other candidates at that moment watching the difference in what both teams produced and watching me at work from that point on, for example, Kieran said, as long as you're in Karishma's team, you're safe. Like that was a statement made after week 4. And Kieran, I remember saying that I hope I'm on your team going forward for whatever it may be because we will win. There has been tasks where we've been on the same team and I've lost, and the team has lost, and we've maybe lost by a little bit or whatever. But like the people in the room, the candidates got so confident about my abilities after task 4. After task 4, I thought I can actually win this because now I've now seen the boys, seen the girls, seen the competition, realized, wait, some of my biggest threats have just lost to me. I might actually take this home. Still, there was no arrogance, no overconfidence from my end because you can lose it all like this. You make one mistake, but it's a huge mistake, and you might not get the grace of one mistake, you know? So I was like, I just have to play it by ear, task by task. It was never final 5 or final in my head at any given point. It was always get through this task, get through the boardroom, get through this task, get through the boardroom. That's it. So yeah.
Amazing. A quick fire one for you. One task you'd happily relive and one task you want to forget about.
One task I'd relive is week 4 again. Just I think it was so fun. One task I'd forget was probably flowers. I just found it flowers or Isle of Wight. Probably not Isle of Wight. I think flowers. I found it really tedious. It wasn't like even though we were selling in the streets and markets and stuff, I just feel like the vibes on that task were off. It was too stressful. The other tasks were quite fun, and the other tasks were like really exciting for me. Whereas flowers, my stress was just way too high. I just thought, I don't know. I don't know. I don't like this task. I don't like the way it is. Even chicken and egg. Some of the tasks I was like, this is, I don't like this.
Definitely. And one of the tasks that people were talking about quite a lot was the TV selling this year. And I know you and some of the other candidates shared that your best moments may not have been shown on screen. So what has it been like balancing sort of a genuinely life-changing moment and opportunity, but also realizing that it needs to be an entertaining TV show for the people watching at home?
So for me personally, it worked out in my favor because I believe I was born for entertainment and TV. Like the way I always had some kind of airtime in the show, whether it was just facial expressions or one-liners or me making a really bold statement or me essentially leading. What I think happened is I was sub team leader and PM for pretty much like 70% of the show. So I have to be there and I have to get a good edit because my team probably won, or like as in they can't edit something in, they can only edit something out. So if I was stupid and I did something stupid, it can very much make the cut and I can't blame production, I can't blame the editors, I can't blame anyone. But if something has been edited out of the show and it's been made to look like I'm incompetent or I didn't contribute, but other people had their moment and I wasn't sub team leader, like for example in Egypt, the task in Egypt, I potentially was the reason why we won that task, right? It was cut out. But the entire coffee experience at the end of the night, I led it. They loved it. The women that were there from the company that we were hosting, they were in tears. They were hugging and kissing and like really like we did this whole team building exercise that was completely cut out, right? And obviously because the kitchen was more manic and fun to film and things that go too smoothly don't make for good TV. But I remember Priyash pretty much like running into my arms after that, saying, "Oh my God, you saved me, you saved me." Did it make the cut? No. Do I really care? Not as much because it didn't make me look incompetent. It was nothing. But task 9, I was responsible for over half of the sales. So, but showing me as like, oh, she's not speaking in the gallery. Why is she not talking? Why is she not vocal? That made me look incompetent. And after the big statements I've made about this is my task, this is my task, it made it look like, oh, she's all talk and that's it. So that I didn't appreciate. But I have a huge understanding of TV, entertainment, editing. The best bits stay and the bits that are kind of stagnant should go as they should. You've got 1 hour. So I understand the world, and I was never really angry up until, like, I was never really angry, but week 9 I was like, let me just say something, because when you're responsible for a majority of the sales, it should be said.
Yeah, exactly. You feel like you want to validate, the impact you had.
Absolutely.
And so across the whole process, you never got dragged back into the final 3 in the boardroom, and you won both your tasks as project manager. Do you think, looking back, does that feel like it validates just how well you did in the process?
I think it's a huge, huge accomplishment to have not been brought back. There was kind of like this kind of, I don't know, I wouldn't say it like it was, I don't know. There was just this kind of thing where she can defend herself very well in the boardroom, right? So it's all strategy. Who you bring back is based around who is going to be able to get themselves out of it. Sometimes it's not even about who was the weakest link. Unless they made a massive mistake, and Baroness Brady and Tim have seen it, like during week 3, for example, my negotiation that was completely tanked. I didn't need to be any good that episode, I just didn't need to be crap. And I just didn't need to like ruin a negotiation. All I had to do was stand back and say, well, that was not my fault. And someone else is worse than me today, so I can survive this week. A lot of the tasks are not about being outstanding, they're about being just not the worst.
Yeah.
So that's a way to survive also. But then some of them are triple firings and you can't really escape, which is why you should always be outstanding and you should always do your best. That being said, I just know nobody wanted to go up against me in the boardroom, even though in Hong Kong, people would have loved to go up against me. People, because I was just not showing off my personality. I didn't have this big, like, cocky energy about me. So people just thought she's so shy. If I bring her back, I can send her home. Come week 2 or 3, 4, people were like, yep, not bringing her back because she will send me home. And I very much will. Like, I said, like, I have no friendships here. I've got no loyalties here just yet. If you come for me, I will make sure that I put up a really, really solid fight. But yeah, not having seen the show before, not being as prepared as the other candidates, having not been brought back was purely because like my ideas were always fresh and new and it enhanced what happened on the show.
Absolutely. And just following up on that, who do you think you're the best bond you created with out of all the candidates?
I think if I think girls, Rothna, like we just had no competition with each other. It was like we're either both gonna win or one of us is gonna win, and whoever wins, it doesn't matter because we both came there and we can't trust everyone. So me and Rothna were like this in there, and we just really looked out for each other, and there was never any kind of like negative emotion there or jealousy or competition or pettiness, none of that. And then with the boys, I would like to think Kieran, like he was like a brother to me in there. And even now, like he checks up on me all the time. He has such a beautiful relationship with my dad as well, bless him. And like he's very entrepreneurial in his like real estate way, you know? Like would I ever like get him to do certain tasks like design a logo or, you know, do a social media campaign? No. But if I had to sell something, Kieran would be the man to ask.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, The Apprentice is great at sort of highlighting people's strengths throughout the task. And one of them that really stood out with you is your ability to have really creative ideas and social media content. And I really enjoyed the bit where Baroness Brady said that you had even more Instagram followers than she did. So I wondered, what would your top tips be for somebody wanting to start out on social media, either as a content creator or someone that's wanting to run their own business?
I would say a personal brand is incredibly important. Even after I've won, my content hasn't now become automatically more professional or more polished, or there's nothing there that says, oh, she's just won The Apprentice. No, it's all about being myself, and that's who Lord Sugar chose, and that's who the public should choose to follow if they do choose. So I can't just switch it up now because I've won this like opportunity of a lifetime. He invested in me And I made sure to show who I genuinely am. One thing I didn't want was for him to pick me and then suddenly he's like, wait, you're not, this is not who I really decided on. You know, you're just a different girl. I made sure he knew I was making all the jokes that I made on social media in front of him. I'm being myself, transparent in every single way. If he tells me to shut up, he tells me to shut up. If he tells me to get to the point, he knows, okay, she's a yapper. If I make the most sales, if I win the task for my team, he should also know how I did it. It's because I'm creative. You can't keep me like in line because I'm a creative thinker and everything needs to happen my way. I am a bit of a bossy boots in that way because I understand business and I understand marketing and I understand social media. So that is a massive asset in this day and age because if you combine those three, you have a successful business on your hands right there. You know, those all three things is like a trifecta. You know, so I feel like he saw that this girl's got a brain. She can do business. She's girl's got creativity. She can organize a marketing campaign, and she's got skill. Like I know how to use cameras. I know how to edit softwares. Something I know how to use editing software. Sorry, something they didn't even show week 4 and week 10 where we had to design like a social media campaign. Both of those times we were given a professional editing team to edit our stuff, and you can see in week 4 I'm sat on the floor, I'm telling them what to do. Within 10 minutes of that I gave up and I took the computer and I did it myself, but it never made the cut because I also can't come across as like too competent because like this defeats the purpose of the show. Like, you know, I saw someone even sent me a screenshot. It was like, I fear Krishma has missed the point of the show. She's actually a competent businesswoman, and I just thought this is so funny. But you know, like I would not change a thing. It was just the best experience of my life, to be honest.
That's great. And have you seen sort of a boost in your social media following as the tasks progress? Did you think, oh, okay, my presence is really growing online and people are sending lots of messages and congratulating me as the tasks go on?
I think with social media, it's like people will find you, but did they stay? Did they stay and did they look around? And even like in my interviews, Mike and Claudine both said my social media is really compelling. And Claudine followed me immediately. She was like, I had to follow you. Your content's hilarious, you know? And I believe in like giving people a little bit of light in a very, very dark world where things are constantly, you know, the headlines are always so negative and dark. And like if my content about me going on a fun date with a boy made someone happy that day, then fair enough. Like that is me doing my duty to the world of spreading a bit of light and positivity, and I believe that that is my role. And on social media, people choose to follow you or choose to leave a comment or choose to scroll away. If I give them something to stay for, the views and the traction from the show is one thing. Me compelling someone and proving to someone like stick around, I'll be worth your while is a different thing, and that is what I do.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah.
And I think the fact you said before how genuine you are, I think, and that showed in the final app, especially makes it so much more, as you said, compelling.
Thank you. Yeah, I feel the show has done a lot for me in terms of my sales, in terms of my followers and the like views on me. Like I've got like I don't know, like I think my management sent me a screenshot today. Like you've got 50 million people watching your social media right now. Like that's how many eyes you have on you. And I'm just thinking this is insane. Like it's never been like that crazy. It's always been nice and good, but it's never been 50 million people, which is just crazy. Like I am very grateful.
It's amazing. But yeah, you said you weren't a committed viewer of the show before applying. Do you think that helped, hindered you in the process in any way?
So, in ways it helped, in ways I think the show is about adapting. I think the show is about picking up skills really quickly, learning really quickly, yeah? So for me, task 1, Lord Sugar goes, you're going to Hong Kong for a discount buying task. I don't even know what discount buying means. Like, what does that mean? To everyone else, immediately they have understood we're going to be running around Hong Kong looking for 9 items or whatever. For me, I'm like, we're going to be buying things at discounted rates, but that's just what I've like, you know, got from the word and the phrase itself. But I don't know what the task entails because I've not seen it. And I've seen like snippets of previous seasons, but I haven't been able to put 2 and 2 together. We go to Hong Kong. Obviously, now I figured out what's happened. I've asked everyone. I'm like, what does that even mean? They've explained it. We sat in Hong Kong. We sat at this round table. Nikki's put herself forward as PM, and all the girls are kind of talking over each other. And I'm not quite understanding why we're being like this, like why we're not giving each other turns. And I'm sat with my back to Tim. I didn't know Tim was there. I didn't even know Tim sits in on the whole thing. I look over my shoulder and I see that he's there and I'm shocked. And then I start getting really vocal as well. I see what the girls were trying to do. They were trying to make an impression on Tim. Whereas I haven't spoke for about 10 minutes now and Tim's probably thinking, she's so quiet. But honestly, speaking over people is just not my style. And I didn't realize he's there. And that's probably why they're doing it. It's probably not their style either. Do you know? But I just didn't know that they're there the whole time, the aides. I didn't see it. So very quickly I picked up like, oh, production works like this and filming works like this, and sometimes you may be in a rush but everything has to stop for lunch and blah blah blah. Like, you learn all of these crazy things along the way and it strengthens your performance, and by the end of it you've got the hang of it and you know what you're doing. And yeah.
What is some advice that you would give to someone thinking about applying for The Apprentice in the future?
Advice would be, do not put yourself forward as PM on week 1. It is tragic as a decision. If it goes wrong, you're going straight home. I mean, yeah, there's been circumstances where that hasn't happened and PM's been given the bravery award, like, oh, you put yourself forward, you're not going home. But I just think it's not worth the risk at all. I think don't be shy and hold back, but also don't show anyone your cards. Be vocal. Don't be over cocky. Don't give away your personal information at any point. Don't let anyone know your weaknesses. And number 3 would be like, stop postponing it. Like, don't think, okay, you know what, I don't have a business yet, I'll apply next year. It's never going to happen if you don't do it now. Just do it now. You might go home week 1, but it doesn't matter. Like, you've done it. And it's like week 1, I was in Hong Kong. Like, I could never probably have said that for myself. So I just think, like, don't be a perfectionist about anything, whether it's business, the application process. They want to see real people and they want to see entertaining people. You can't be good at business and actually have a really boring personality and get on the show. They need both. Be good at business. In fact, your personality actually matters more than your business plan.
Absolutely. Great advice. That week 1 project manager must be so hard because someone's got to do it, I guess.
Exactly. Someone's got to do it. And luckily for us, Nikki wanted to do it. And Georgie wanted to do it. Like, these people wanted to put themselves forward and they were so brave. And I think that's crazy. I would have never done it. I didn't even know what we were doing.
Yeah. And finally, what is next for Kishkin and where can people follow your journey?
So Kishkin currently has 3 products. We've launched the last 2 on the day of the final and we are pretty much almost sold out. You can buy everything at kishkin.com and you should follow us on socials because we're always giving skincare tips and a bit behind the scenes on how it is about running a business. Like, yes, Kishkin is a page where we talk about our product, but there's a very real human running the business that likes to share her story as well. And what's next for Kishkin is we keep posting with Lord Sugar now behind us. Like, he did a post for Kishkin today saying go and buy Kishkin. He is so there for us and we are just going to introduce more and more products, more research and development, coming out with more innovative stuff and releasing it to the public bit by bit. Hopefully by next year we'll have a full collection of skincare and slowly start creeping into skincare infused cosmetics.
That sounds brilliant. I really hope that you get Lord Sugar doing some TikToks and reels with you. But if you are not following Karishma and Kishkin, please do, because I can just tell that it's going to be one hell of a journey. And it's been really fantastic to watch you week by week excelling in the process. You have been our favourite from, as you say, really early on, and our listeners have been messaging in. So Karishma, thank you so much for coming on and talking to us today at Back to the Boardroom. It's been a pleasure and we really look forward to seeing what's next for you.
Thank you guys. Thank you for having me.